Hello, welcome to this your channel of the Eurofan. Thanks to me. This country was featuring one of the returns announced in the last edition of the Junior Contest. I'm not talking in this case about Azerbaijan, who returned after 3 years of absence. On its last participation, they casually achieved its best result in the Junior Contest to date, after the heartfelt proposal presented by Sona Azizova during the edition held in Paris, France in 2021, where she got a very outstanding 5th place in the final ranking. With the return of the country to the junior competition, there was the goal to keep achieving good results at least that could set the path to achieve its first victory very soon. For this, we will check out the next child artist that could start the return in the Caucasian nation on the main stage in Tbilisi. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Azerbaijani entry for Junior Eurovision 2025, which has been represented by the singer Yağmur with the song Miau Miau. But before getting immersed onto this cat-like proposal, as it can be deducted from the song's title, let's get to know more about this young artist that is looking to step forward in the European musical scene. Without further delay, let's move on with the review. We start as usual by reviewing her biography before leaving the Eurovision experience on neighboring Georgia. Yağmur Nasnurayeva, mostly well known by her name, is an Azerbaijani singer. She is 12 years old and comes from the Azerbaijani capital, Baku. She starts to get deeply involved with music from the age of 8, having musical studies in a child art school in which she receives singing and piano classes. And despite being quite young, she has already represented the country in music festivals on the region. Musically speaking, she cites among her musical influences to the American pop superstar Michael Jackson, to the also fellow American singer Billie Eilish, to the South Korean singer Jennie, who is part of the K-pop band Blackpink. And regarding her fellow artists in the country, she also cites the singers Saygun Kasinova and Ivanish Hashimova. All these influences will shape Yağmur's musical style, in which she blends and adapts the diversity of musical genres. In her personal facet, Yağmur describes herself as a happy and perfectionist person, and it is quite conscious of herself, which she reflects especially with a significant care of her personal image. She loves roller skating and prepares sweet treats in her spare time, and is very passionate of the South Korean culture, particularly with K-pop. Having seen a little more about her, let's see then how she ends up becoming the Azerbaijani representative for the junior contest. After confirming the return of the country to the junior competition, the Azerbaijani public broadcaster opened a submission period in last mid-August for the child artists who wanted to take part in the selection process, implying that they would opt in this case for an internal selection of both the artist and the song that would represent the country in Georgia, and at the same time it made some contacts with the Ministry of Culture, with the goal of getting a list of potential side singers that have participated in international contests and festivals, which will be invited as well to take part in the process. By the deadline, it was known that more than 16 applications were received, from where 15 boys and girls were longlisted to participate in the live auditions phase that took place in last mid-September. Then, at the end of that same month, Yağmur will be officially announced as the Azerbaijani representative that will get a ticket to Tbilisi in a press conference organized by the broadcaster. The song to be performed by her will be revealed in early last October, while the official music video will be released at the end of that same month. Atrata portrays her as a magic and free-falling figure. Now it's time to analyze further about this proposal in which Yağmur has stepped the junior contest stage. The melody is a pop child blended with funk, which makes use of typical sounds of the Levantine and Arabic music, which giving a mystical and mysterious touch. About Yağmur's voice, she has a vocal style that projects power and a playful spirit, standing out in particular a vocal extravaganza moment she has during the bridge right before the final chorus. Regarding the lyrics, it has been written in Azerbaijani and English by a group of Azerbaijani songwriters, with some of them having links with the Eurovision world. It is the case of Diana Hayeyeva, known for being the vocalist of the Azerbaijani group DI, who represented the country at Eurovision in 2017 during the edition held in Kiev, Ukraine, and Miau Miau, who was one of the songwriters behind the song Osunle Apar, performed by Fadri and Nitkin Dolatov last year during the edition held in Malmö, Sweden. About the context behind the lyrics, it properly describes to Yağmur in her cat-like alter ego as a fascinating creature that hypnotizes with her mysterious character and her wild energy. This can be evidenced by reading the lyrics with more detail, previously translated at first, by making a narration of herself with a charming, mysterious, and rebellious personality. Being a song that reflects Yağmur's personality, I would say in this case that the track intends to emphasize the celebration of freedom, self-expression, and the ability to show oneself to the others on its authentic way. Having seen more of this cat-like proposal, let's see then how it is projected the contest is crying on it through the official music video. For this, I'm going to put on my earbuds as usual to take a look further on this music video presented by Yağmur, playing in 3, 2, 1. It's her name, the song's title, cat size, Yağmur with her child dancers there, and a lot of imagery of cats everywhere, as it couldn't be possible. It seems like they are in a studio where it is projected all this cat imagery while they are doing all the dance routines. It's very energetic and dynamic so far. The dynamic remains quite similar during the performance. Okay, there's a slight change here in this part of the song. And here comes the climax. Something is not going on quite well here. I mean, her attitude and her energy is not the same like at the beginning. It does not match at all. There's a coincidence with her name matching with the sounds of the cat. Okay, when the music video started, it has a very hectic and dynamic rhythm. It started pretty well. They were very energetic and the attitude was good. But during the part of the vocal extravaganza during the bridge, it felt it was going down. As I said before, the energy and the attitude of Yağmur was not the same, so it was not matching at all. Aside from this, I will say that the music video has been normally produced, matching with the context of the track. Taking into account what we saw previously with the music video, it was expected that this very same dynamic will be portrayed in the junior contest stage. In fact, for the staging in Belize, it could be noticed that the rebellious character transmitted with the track is more emphasized according to what it could be seen during the first rehearsals. There is an urban setting with waste containers on the stage and graffiti in the visual graphics, giving the impression that they were in an alley. But the costumes of Yağmur and the child dancers are made in a gang style, wearing black outfits with details in fluorescent colors. Standing out in this case that Yağmur wears a single glove in her right hand matching with her fuchsia top. There are much less references to cats in the visual graphics in comparison with the official music video, but it is remarkable the appearance of a cat-shaped electric guitar, with the mask naturally representing mixed tail at a specific moment of the performance. Watching her live performance at the junior contest, it starts with Yağmur at the bottom of the stage performing the first verse while the stage is barely dark, while the child dancers appear thereafter joining her for the remaining of the performance. All of them approach little by little to the center of the stage, doing thereafter different choreographies throughout the track like the one seen in the music video. The dynamic remains quite energetic and danceable. Standing out is some moment the appearance of the shadow of a cat in the leg screen on the stage floor, being Yağmur and the child dancers aligned with the pulse of that shadow. Shortly after, by the bridge, there is a slight change in the dynamic. Yağmur goes back to the bottom of the stage while the child dancers are in the stairsteps of the stage, with the lighting in pink and fuchsia tones, and right after they all take off their jackets. Two of the child dancers start to play with the waste containers with drumsticks like these were drums. The remaining child dancer brings the cat-shaped electric guitar, and then Yağmur has her vocal extravaganza moment. For the last chorus, all of them come back to the center of the stage while they resume the same choreographies from before, closing the performance with them making the cat claws gestures while some small columns are seen. I consider that this performance has been an evolution from what we saw previously with the official music video. Yağmur's attitude is seen much more confident and energetic, matching much more with the context of the track. And the fact that there were not so much references to cats like in the music video, opting for that urban and strict style staging has contributed to not make it look too redundant. By the time of knowing the voting results, Yağmur will initially place 15th after the reveal of the votes from the jury, in expectation of how many votes she will receive from the public, until it was known that the televoting results will grant her the same amount of points like Spain, being tied in the 8th place, but however this will not help her to climb more positions of the table, settling in the same 15th place in the final ranking. Making a summary of all the comments, the Azerbaijan entry for this year is not bad. It is not a proposal that gets much of my attention in particular, although I recognize that it has been very well presented, especially taking into account that it is of the few energetic proposals that took part in the last edition among the sea of ballads that were featured. The final result has not been the most prolific one for the Caucasian country, but even so it has been a proposal that has stood out for being a quite hectic and entertaining. About Yağmur, surely she will be dedicated on resuming both her school and musical studies, and who knows if sometimes she ends up dedicating herself to music when she is a little older, by composing her own songs and starting a music career much more firmly. This has been the Azerbaijani proposal this year for the junior contest. Which are your thoughts? It has been one of your favorites for the edition, or it went unnoticed in your case? Whatever is your opinion, let me know in the comments down below so we can keep up the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. If this video has been of your taste, then take a few moments to give a like, thus helping me to have your support and for this content to be reached among more people. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications by hitting the bell, and through my social media you can find me and follow me. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.